Hello and welcome back to my channel for the first kind of proper chatty podcast of October. It is Monday the 6th of October and I have a stash update for you. I have finished objects galore, more than you can shake a stick at. And of course, because it's me, I've got a couple of new cast-ons as well. So let's get straight into it with finished objects. So my first finished object, which if you follow me on the gram or Facebook, you'll have seen already, is my son's flax sweater. This is what I have now dubbed the vanilla sock of sweaters, and therefore we will just accept that there will always be a flax sweater on my needles, and this is fine. Some people, all they knit is socks. Apparently all I knit is flax sweaters. It is a free pattern from Tin Can Knits. It comes in 3 weights in multiple sizes. There is an app for that as well. And I highly recommend the app. I absolutely love using it. And at some point I'll figure out screen recording and do something whizzy and record using the app and setting up and showing you just how easy it is. Today's not that day. We're going for unedited again because that seemed to go down really well last week and saved me a little bit of time as well. So we'll see how things go. I just hope I don't hiccup, cough, burp, any of the other things. So anyway, back to the flax. This is the DK version. I have used West Yorkshire Spinners Bo Peep Luxury Baby DK. It is my favourite baby yarn. It is machine washable. It is super soft. Easy to care for. The stitch definition is gorgeous. The colour palette has every colour you could possibly hope for and some that you might not. And it is relatively affordable at £4.50 a ball. I know in the grand scheme of things that's much more than we used to pay for a ball of yarn, but we all know the cost of living has gone up, etc., and the cost of everything has gone up. So I think that's kind of in line with normal inflation. I haven't weighed this yet. I will weigh it and I will put my stats here for you, or here so you can see. My son absolutely loves this sweater. I started it a bit earlier in the year when I started teaching my course, my top-down sweater course at Wool on the X, and finished it just this past weekend. Well, the past week. I basically finished it shortly after I recorded the podcast. I'm pretty sure it's a September finish. I'm going to have to go through my Ravelry now and check, but I'm sure it's a September finish because otherwise it won't count for the stash, will it? Anyway, I'll put some pictures up here of Robin in his sweater. It is very long and I know it looks very long in the pictures, but I have added inches. It called for his age, it called for 8.5 inches between the underarm and where I want to start the ribbing at the waist, or the bottom ribbing band. But I did a little bit extra last time on the age 2 to 4. And as you saw from the pictures before, they're already too short. So this one comes down past his bum. So I'm hopeful it will last him until he is 6. So it's top down in the round construction with pretty garter stitch bands down the arms, which are really easy to keep track of. I did the sleeves more or less to the required length. I think I might have added a little bit on, but it's the body he's got longer. And I did a loose bind off at the cuffs, which does have the effect of making them look a bit frilly. But again, I wanted them to fold back and be comfortable folded back for him until he's of a size that they need to kind of be let down and let go. So that one's the worst one. That's super frilly. I don't know quite what I did there. Maybe I didn't size down needles for the rib. That's possibly what's happened. But once it's folded over on itself, I think it looks all right. I love the colours. What did Robin call it? He called it something funny and I can't think what now. Was it his jungle jumper? I honestly don't know. But yeah, I really like it. Of all the patterns, I definitely prefer the worsted because it knits up fastest. But I was out of worsted yarn. I needed to use something from stash. The only kind of thing I've got with this one is the neckline seems to sit really wide on his shoulders. And I don't know if that's because of how I put it on him or the shirt he was wearing underneath it. So what I might be inclined to do next time is cast on a fewer stitches for the neckband, because it did seem like a lot, and it does sit quite open, as you can see in the pictures. That's my only kind of about this one. But there we are. So I striped in the safari park, and as you can see, I striped it in precisely so it matches, very professional. And that is that first finished object. The second finished object are my socks. Apologies if I've already shown these to you. I don't think I did last time, but they are completely finished. And I'm really pleased with them. So I'm now got to find the yarn and cast on for my husband's second sock, which will take me a wee bit longer. So this is Stylecraft Head Over Heels, and I think it's the Yule colourway. Have I got it here? I might have it here. I do a lot of my sock knitting on dog walks, so I have I have 2 sock sacks. This is one, and it hangs over my wrist, and I just knit from it. So it does get a bit grubby and a bit thrown around. Where are we? It's called Elf, shade 5555 Elf, and it's Stylecraft Head Over Heels, and you can see it's designed to be a Christmassy yarn because of the ball band. On the ball band as well, if you don't like surprises, it does also show you how it will knit up. I've spoken about this yarn in the last episode, I think, but I'm not mad keen on it. It's great. I don't know how it will hold up to wearing because none of us have worn them yet. It's that strand of silver throughout. It doesn't feel quite right to me. I think I prefer kind of almost the more art yarn style of West Yorkshire Spinners glittery yarn, which has the stellina woven through. So there's that. But we'll see how it holds up. It's definitely very sparkly, very pretty. My husband and son are quite excited to receive theirs. And if I've got time, I might even do a matching pair for my dad. So there we are. Okay, my third finished object is a little bit tenuous. You might not count it as finished, but I decided that I did. And it may or may not have to do with the fact that rather a lot of yarn has come into my stash over the past week and a half. We'll talk about that in a bit. So I'm calling this finished. I've put it on Ravelry as finished, and as far as I'm concerned, it is finished. And it is this jumper. Ta-da! It's the Hopscotch jumper from West Yorkshire Spinners. I've knit it in the Colour Lab DK. The pattern book is Colour Lab Kids. It's got lots of lovely patterns in. As you can see, I have done a dodgy job of setting in the sleeve. However, when you come to the seams underneath, turns out I'm still pretty good at mattress stitch. And the bit that gave me the most pleasure was the other night sewing up the side seam, which I flatter myself that you can barely see at all. Apart from up here, where I had to finagle it because the front for some reason has pulled up higher than the back. You'll notice it is missing a sleeve and it's missing the hood. It's the sewing in. So I've decided that doesn't count. Sewing in doesn't mean it's not a finished object. And I had hoped to get that done this morning and get it in the post. But I just didn't have time. There have been some things that have come up in my personal life, some quite exciting things. And I had to go and deal with those this morning. I'm not telling you anything now, but I might tell you something in a few weeks' time. We shall see. No guesses, because I'm not going to talk about it in the comments. So don't, if you want to guess privately in your own mind, but please don't put anything in the comments because I won't be responding to those comments, which I know sounds really bad, doesn't it, actually? And I'm going for unedited, but I'm human. I'm not expressing this very well. Essentially, I didn't get time to sew this up today because something very exciting is happening. Potentially very exciting. It might not be exciting. It might just not happen. I don't know. Anyway, stop talking, Gemma. So I'm going to sew this up tonight and get it in the post. But there we are. And there is the hood. So that is also finished. Again, haven't weighed it. I will weigh it now and put it at the bottom of the screen how much it weighs. Same with the socks. So my total out for the month of September is here, which is quite respectable, I think. I think I've had quite a lot going out. So that's the Emmanuel I finished in September, didn't I? And that was quite hefty. And did I do the snake in September? I think I did the snake in September. And the Colour Lab jumper and the flax jumper and the socks. That's 5 finishes for September. So that's quite a lot along here, up here somewhere, that has gone out of my stash. We might now need to talk about what's coming. But first of all, let's talk about works in progress, because I have 3 new cast-ons to share. The first one is this one, which is actually getting its own video, hopefully, at some point. And it is in the middle of a row, because I'm about to add on the 3rd ball of yarn, a big squooshy blanket. Now, this is a surprise for him upstairs. Okay, I'll put it down here as well in case you didn't hear that, so I can't talk about it too much. But this is it. It's soft, it's squooshy, it's a chunky chenille type yarn. The yarn itself is from that Crafty Stitch. I've had it in stash for pushing 2 years. So it does qualify for Jen's Elder Stash make along as well. And I started it on Friday. I've got to finish it by this Friday. So that's 2 balls down and I've got 8 balls to go. I haven't touched it at all today because I've been so busy. So I don't know really and truly if I'm going to get there or if I'm going to present it with needles on Friday. But there you go. And it's a beautiful, rich kind of green, and I love texture. I don't know if it was last week in my unedited one that I was saying that I really like texture. I like warm, natural, not neutrals, but naturals, I think is the way I would describe it. I like natural wood in all its forms. I like warm colours and that are more neutral. I'm not going to paint my house in orange. And I like texture, greens and texture. And so this ticks all the boxes. And part of the motivation for me casting this on is not just because it's his upstairs birthday, but because it's a quick project being super chunky, and it's 10 balls and that's 1 kilo, and I really need to get some yarn out of my stash because of what I've done. I did this on Friday because what happened on Thursday night. But let's go back first to the past. No, let's show you my next work in progress. I'll talk to you a lot more about this next time, okay, when I can talk a bit more freely. But for now, just look, admire, and squash. Let me show you. Oh, where is it? It's here. So, having finished a flax, I was in a bit of a quandary because I was due to teach at Wool on the X again this past Saturday, my top down in the round sweater course, which of course uses the flax. And luckily or unluckily, Robin has grown out of all his sweaters. So I thought, brilliant, I'll grab some yarn. I'm going to grab some worsted yarn that I know I've got in stash. I'll try and ignore the fact they don't stock this particular yarn at Wool on the X. And I will put it here. I'll cast it on at the shop. So on Saturday at the shop with my students, I cast on another flax, and this is how far I've got. I'm about 2 inches away from completing the prescribed length of body on this one. So this is in, which way up does it go? There we go. It's in James C. Brett Scandi, Croftland Aran, and it's a self-patterning yarn. It's 80% acrylic, 20% wool. It can go in the washing machine on a cool wash at 30, and it's shade A301 Shepherd's Delight. The balls are large, they're 150 grams. And I don't think there's much else to tell you about it, other than obviously it's self-patterning. Isn't this fun? Because this is the flax, and because I was teaching, I did choose to do the garter stitch panel. Although if this was just for me, I probably wouldn't have bothered because it's such a busy yarn. I don't think it adds anything having the garter stitch there at all. But what's interesting is how nicely it's knitting up in the yoke. It's still maintaining a kind of self-patterning Fair Isle pattern. And so actually I think with these yarns, these Fair Isle Effect self-patterning ones, I think it's actually better to do an in the round than the patterns that come from the company, which are flat. Because the patterns that come from the company, there's nothing wrong with them. I think they're really, really good. But have you noticed that if you've got a paper pattern and you've got a photograph, and say it's a V-neck cardigan and it's in one of these, say it's like King Cole Splash DK or something, which is self-patterning. I'll see if I can find a picture to show you what I mean. But they don't yarn match. So they'll knit one front and then they'll just knit the other in the sample and it won't match. It'll be sort of like that. And I think, why? Why do you do that? It makes no sense. So I would wind off the yarn until it pattern matched when I finished the next front, if that makes sense. So that's always a step, my personal choice that I would do. But I just love how fun it is in this self-patterning yarn. It's like no flax that I've knit before. I just think that's just so different. At first when I cast on with it, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like the feel of it. But after a couple of, bearing in mind I've just been working with Bo Peep, which is super soft merino, so it's not acrylic with wool. It's a lot of nylon, but with Falkland merino, which is the softest merino in the world. Actually, I'm really enjoying it. It's squishy, it's cozy, and Robin doesn't like it. He hasn't touched it. It's not the feel of the yarn he doesn't like. He doesn't like the look of it. And I got this because red is his favourite colour, and I just thought a patterned jumper for Christmas would be lovely. So I showed it to him on Saturday, obviously Sunday, and by which point I'd done sort of down to here. I got down to here on Saturday night. I did all of this on Sunday. And he just didn't like it. So what he's decided to do, how sweet is this? He's decided he wants it to give it to his cousin Jessie, whose birthday is coming up as well. But it's not going to be for his birthday because his birthday's like in a few days' time. But this is going to be his Christmas sweater now. So I've sent a picture to my sister-in-law, who weirdly enough is also called Gemma. And she said she loves it and she thinks Jessie will love it. So that's going to go in the post to Jessie when it's finished, which I don't think will take too long because, as I said, I'm only 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So about that much shy of the ribbing, and then the ribbing, and then it's just the sleeves. And I've done all this essentially in a day. It's so fast. I love it. This is the age 4 to 6, so it will drown Jessie, because although he's a couple of weeks older than Robin, he's quite a lot dinkier. Robin's kind of like really stretched out over the past year, and when and I think he's easily a head taller than Jessie, easily, and he's got a long body as well. So yeah, anyway, I think that's absolutely lovely. I can definitely see more of this yarn in my future. So it is James C. Brett. I really like it. I really like it. So I did a pause like I do when I'm going to do a jump cut. Am I going to jump cut these, or am I going to try for unedited? We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I cast on that flax because Robin needed yet another sweater, because he's only got 2 that fit him at the minute. 3 actually, because the one that Mina embroidered for him last Christmas still fits and it's really lovely. Obviously he doesn't want it, that's fine, it's going to go to Jessie. And I cast on the blanket because of what happened on the Thursday night. But before what happened on the Thursday night happened, I also bought a new pattern for Robin. Robin has started to get into characters on TV. He's obviously loves his Thomas the Tank Engine, there's no change there. And he loves his Thomas sweater. It's actually sitting here that my grandma knit for him, and that still fits. Oh no, okay, so he's got 4 sweaters that fit. So maybe we're not that desperate now. Maybe it's okay, because he's got this Thomas one, he's got the Robin one from Mina, he's got his 2 flaxes from me. So he's got 4 sweaters, which should do for the winter. But my husband started getting into other characters as well. So one of which is Pokemon. And I bought the Pokemon pattern. It's called Have a Ball Mini by Megan Reagan, who is Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. I'll put a picture of it up here. And I bought from Wool on the X the yarn to do it, to cast it on, because I thought, well, he's had his birthday sweater now. He needs another sweater for birthday or Christmas. He needs one to unwrap from mummy at birthday or Christmas. We're probably going to be going for Christmas with this one now because he's giving away his birthday sweater. So yeah, it's Bo Peep DK. This is the colourway Fire Engine. It's 112 metres per 50 gram ball. As I said, it retails at £4.50 a ball, I think, at the minute. Well, it used to be £3.50. I don't know what's happening. It's from West Yorkshire Spinners, 52% Falkland wool, 48% nylon, so it's strong. And I just bought, this one is Tooth Fairy, which is white, and Fire Engine. So this is for the yoke. I did also need a black as well. And I looked at the chart and it is actually 3 colour work. And I looked at it and I thought, no. Because stranding the black across the back of the yoke, I think it would show through, or it would give my son some sensory issues when it comes to putting it on, having the strands going across massive great gaps. I did buy a ball. They didn't have it at the Wool on the X, so I did actually order a ball of Incy Wincy from the Yarn Dispensary, and they delivered super quick. They're lovely like that. So I've got everything I need. But I was talking to Debbie, who runs Wool on the X, and we looked at the chart, and I've decided that I'm just going to duplicate stitch the black, because there's also, as you can see from the picture, there's these kind of little wiggles in between the poker balls around the yoke. You know, the little black lines that are meant to indicate that something's shaking or there's movement. And I just thought, I'm not stranding that. So I'm going to, oh, hiccups now, I might have to edit this. I'm just going to Swiss darn it or duplicate stitch it and see. So I'm stood at the till at Wool on the X, and I'm waiting for Hannah to ring up my order and to sign me up for a membership for Wool on the X, because they have a membership thing. It's £30 a year. It gets you 10% off your purchases, and it gets you free yarn winding on their Swift, and you can also borrow books from their members library. And I've not done it yet, even though I've been here 2 years and they are my local yarn store, because I don't know, I think because I've got a Swift, I've got loads and loads of books, but I've decided to do it because it's another way of supporting my local yarn store, and if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. And so I thought, well, there we go. And ultimately it got me 10% off my shopping. So anyway, I'm stood there waiting for the lovely Hannah to ring up my purchases. And right beside me is a wall of yarn. And on the counter in front of me is this. This is the Florabelle crochet shawl, designed by Anna Nikiforovich, my very good friend. She does a lot of design work for West Yorkshire Spinners. She's just got the make-along starting now. And I've seen the Florabelle before. It was originally designed using the West Yorkshire Spinners Florist collection, but in their infinite wisdom, they've redone it and re-released it in this year's colour, Mulled Wine, and it is stunning. And I saw this on Wool on the X's social media, so it just goes to show social media works. And it takes 2 balls, and I had 1 ball of the Mulled Wine from Laura Oakhampton. So you can tell what happened next. I bought the pattern and I bought the ball of yarn. So for our fall shawl along, I will be casting this on. I'm not going to cast it on just yet. I want to get that flax off the needles quickly, and obviously I'm working on the secret blanket. Always in a meeting now. I'm working on the secret blanket for Alan's birthday. But next weekend, this will be my autumnal cast on, and I will also be digging out the Snow Day shawl by Mina, the knitting expert, which I talked about last time. Can I just say thank you to everyone who's joining in with the Snow Day? I absolutely am so chuffed. The link to the Facebook group page will be down below again. I would absolutely love for more of you to join in, or even if you're not joining in with your own shawl, perhaps you want to jump on and comment on each other's work and, encourage everyone in their making. I know a few people have started the Stephen West knit along now, so I'm looking forward to hearing about that, and you can totally show those off as well in the comments on that page. I do need to work out how to pin the post actually so it doesn't get buried, so I'll do that. So that's that. So you've seen what went out in September, this much grammage, or I'm going to put it here actually, this much grammage went out. And in September, 100, 200, 300, 400, and the black makes 500. 500 came in, which was obviously a little bit on the naughty side. 600 if we're counting the mulled wine. I can't remember if the mulled wine counted in August's or September's. So yeah, so you're looking at 500 grams in. And then something else happened last Thursday night. Last Thursday night, I drove for 3 hours after work to get to a shop called Pins and Needles in Devizes in Wiltshire. It is run by the utterly fabulous Victoria. I've come to know her shop and her through my role as a Search Press rep. She is one of my clients for Search Press, and she's just brilliant. She's fun, she's friendly, she's welcoming, she knows her stuff, her shop feels really inclusive. She's got a fantastic range from like workhorse, really affordable, reliable, good quality yarns to the slightly more expensive luxury brands, to hand-dyed, to pure wool. She's got everything, and she loves a bit of a party. And for Yarnstravaganza week, which was last week, she had a various range of events, and one of them was a fashion show on the Thursday night. And so I bought my ticket because you paid £5, and that kind of told Victoria you were coming, made sure she got enough refreshments in. But then you get it back as a £5 off voucher to use against a purchase at Pins and Needles that night, which is lovely, good value. And she also gave us a 10% discount off a future purchase as well, which was awesome. Anyway, I went up there just to say hi, to show her some of the new bits from Search Press. Obviously, I wasn't there to work. I was there to support her, and she was busy hosting a fashion show. And Chris, who is the rep from James C. Brett, was there, and he had brought along a load of garments from James C. Brett, or they'd been posted from James C. Brett to the shop. Something had happened anyway. And basically there was a fashion show going on, and Chris was talking to the ladies and gents there about the yarns and about the patterns, and people were trying things on. They got me to try this on. Victoria was like, go on Gemma, try it on. I was like, I've only got my bra on under this because I was wearing my Emmanuel tee. I still haven't washed the stain out, but I didn't care, I was going to wear it. So I nipped out the back, stripped off, obviously took my jumper off and put this jumper on, and this is what it looked like. And I just thought, I really like this. I really like this. I can't tell you much about the pattern other than the number, and I can't tell you much about the yarn either because we never got that far, but that is definitely going to be a sweater for me, I think, soon. But as I was perusing the shop, my eyes were drawn to this yarn, which is a kind of sparkly chain plied floof, and it was specifically drawn to a colour. It wasn't red, it wasn't mulberry, it wasn't wine. It was kind of like a dusky wine colour, if that makes sense. It was kind of wine, but more leaning towards dusky pink. I'm not explaining it well, but I was drawn towards that colour. And I said to Chris, I was like, Chris, what patterns have you got for this? And he showed me the patterns, and to be honest, they're all a bit extravagant and a bit mad. But he said, you're experienced enough, you can find something and you can adapt the pattern. I said, well, do I like it enough to knit flat? And I'm thinking about the nightmare I'm having setting in sleeves. And the answer is no, I don't. So I stood there on Ravelry and I found this pattern, which I have bought, and it's like a ballet wrap crossover style cardigan. Because I do need more cardigans in my life, and I need more V-neck cardigans. I don't actually have any cardigans at the minute at all, so I need to rectify that. And I said to Victoria, tell me what colour to choose, please. Now, I know what I was doing there, because generally, if you're a really, really good yarn shop person. You won't do that. You won't tell people what colour to choose. It's got to be a colour that makes their heart sing, that they feel good with, that and that's what I used to tell my customers at the Undispensary. I just say, go with what makes your heart sing. Sod what everyone else says. Go with what makes your heart sing. Because you're putting your hard-earned cash and your very limited free time into making this project. It's got to be right. But I just couldn't decide because I was drawn to the blue, of course, which was kind of like a midnighty blue. And I was just like, it's just too expected. I fancied something different. And I thought, well, the red would be really nice. But then I think I'm having hot flushes. I think that's what's happening. I keep going really red in the cheeks. And I don't know if it's social anxiety or exertion or I'm just having a bit of a hot flush. Anyway, so it's made my complexion quite ruddy, so I wasn't sure if it clashed too much. So anyway, so Victoria and I've forgotten the name of the other lady, but she was lovely, held up colours to my... I said, I just need to know if I can wear it next to my face because my face is changing. I trust you. It's fine. And you could see on her face, she's like, I don't want to be responsible for this. But anyway, she did it for me because I flatter myself we're friends as well. And they settled on this colour, which is so romantic and so grown up and not at all appropriate for a toddler mum who works in a preschool. But this is for when I'm being Gemma, not mum, and it's perfect. So it's called Elegance DK by James C. Brett. I bought 7 balls. You get 192 metres per it's Dialog number 1 and it's shade EG01, which must mean Elegance 01. 50 grams. So it's 41% acrylic, 23% metallic, 18% polyamide, 12% mohair, and 6% superwash wool. So it is the 80s yarn of dreams. This is like, takes me right back to the early days of my grandma's yarn shop in the late 80s. And all those patterns, all that bouffanteness. And I had a cardigan that was a similar-ish colour to this, actually. I'll have to try and find a picture if I can and show you. It won't be this time, but if I can find a picture and show you. And I loved it. I loved it so much. My mum knit it for me twice when I grew out of it. I think she had to kind of frankenpiece the pattern. But yeah, I can't remember how much it costs. £4 a ball, something like that. And I needed 7 and I got my £5 off voucher for it. And she put my 10% to it as well. So there is that as well. And so that has come in. Now that's come in for October. So I've got 50, 100, 200, 350 grams has come in there. So I've got 500 grams. Was it 500 for the Bo Peep? And another 350 there. So that's 850 grams has come in, even though I had all that lovely stuff go out from finishing those works in progress. But we are not finished, my friends. No, because there was this other sweater, and I'll try and look it up and put a picture of it here. And it was done in DK. Now, I have seen DK, and I've seen it in kind of ombre colours. So colour changing. Oh, excuse me. And it's very ethereal and mohairy and light and soft. It's lovely. But this particular sweater had lace down the front, a little bit lace down the sleeves, and it was in a pale blue and it was solid. And I just thought it was the most romantic and beautiful thing that I had seen in ages. And I like a bit of lace. We know this from the Emmanuel tee. And I said, I need the pattern and I need the yarn. And so I spoke to Victoria. I said, do you have, because I couldn't see it. And it's on the website because obviously her bricks and mortar store has a finite amount of space. So she does take yarn periodically to another unit, which she sells it from online. Or if someone like me comes in and wants something particular, we can arrange that as well. So she's posting it to me and invoicing me. So I need 7 balls of the DK, and I'm going to make this sweater for my grandma's birthday in February. So that is another 350 grams. So 700 plus 600 is 1,300, so over a kilo has come in the September and October so far. Yeah, you can see, can't you, why I was suddenly, I was up in the head, why I was suddenly really motivated to cast this blanket on and get a kilo out, and why I'm racing through this. Where's it gone? Is it on the floor? Oh my gosh, it's on the floor. It's terrible. And why I'm racing through this new flax, because that's going to be another 250, nearly 300 grams out. And you can see the sudden motivation there, can't you? I haven't got it to hand with me, but I've also cast on a new sock for Robin, because as well as growing out of all his sweaters, he's grown out of his socks. So he chose a ball of yarn. It's called Summer Sunset. It's a Winwick Mum colourway for West Yorkshire Spinners. It's beautiful. He's calling it a summer rainbow, and it's self-striping, and it's red and orange and pink, and that sounds awful, but I promise it's beautiful. So I've cast that on for him as well. So he'll be having that for his for his socks. So there's been 1, 2, 3 new cast ons. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cast offs, 3 cast ons, and a lot of stash come in. So that's where we're at. So let's focus on September. Okay, we're not obviously counting what came in on Thursday, because that's October. That's a whole new month to worry about. So for September, this is the total that went out. This is the total that came in, which leaves me overall for September this much. And then if I take that away from what I had, then so far for my Stash Down challenge, I have removed this much yarn or added this much yarn. I'm pretty sure I'm in the negative. I obviously don't know until I do the numbers and put them up here, so it's anybody's guess what it's going to say, but I'm hoping it says negative for my total out. And there we are. I'm going to love you and leave you, because I need to go and get ready to get Robin from nursery. Slightly delirious, as you can tell. And then I will catch you next week. There is going to be an autumnal vlog coming up. It might not be next week, it might be the week after. So next week there should be a normal podcast. The week after is going to be a slightly different video, but I very much hope you enjoy it. And yeah, let me know what you're up to below. Your code word for the comments below is, what should we have? I've gone completely blank. What should we have? Let's call it enhancement. Your code word below is enhancement, because I've enhanced my stash and my family's wardrobes. Let me know what you're up to below. Please don't forget to join the Facebook group. And I do have it. Oh no, it's a Christmas one. Ignore me. And let me know how you're getting on with the fall shawl along. Next week, I will have some shawl progress to share with you. I'm confident of it. Oh, I've also got something very exciting going on. Tomorrow, I'm going to Wool on the X and I'm doing a crochet sock course. I'm learning how to crochet socks. So excited. I can't wait. Have any of you crocheted socks? What advice do you have for me? Take care. See ya. Love ya. Bye.